Good morning. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today we're testing out a new foundation. What kind of new foundation? It's been out for a minute, but I just now got my little hands on it. As you tilted a little too far down. This is the Covergirl Simply Ageless Skin Perfector Essence with 0.5% bakuchiol. We'll be testing this out today, doing a wear test. Well, I've been testing it, so I already have kind of an opinion, but I wanted to show you how it holds up throughout the day. So we're doing a wear test. But yeah, we're going to go through all the claims and talk all about this little interesting skin tint product. And yeah, if that interests you, just go ahead and keep on watching. Before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment down below, let me know some more drugstore foundations that you're interested in, because I might be interested too. I thoroughly enjoy reviewing foundations. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into the foundation chit chat. All right, let's talk about some claims. I'm going to get another drink of coffee. Clearly I need that. Oh my goodness. I still feel like I'm getting used to speaking with this new bridge I got in my mouth. If you haven't been around here recently, I had a lot of dental work done and I have a bridge now, and it's just a little bigger than my previous mouth situation. So I feel like I'm kind of adjusting to having just a new situation going on in here. And it's been quite the adjustment. Let me get my notes here. Let's talk about this Covergirl Simply Ageless Perfector Essence. This comes in 8 shades, which, considering the coverage level of this, that it can be sheared out, but has a surprising amount of coverage. I might could use a couple more shades in that range, but there is a lot of leeway with this one because it is very adjustable coverage-wise. So there's that. It does retail for $21, which I know sounds crazy for a drugstore foundation, but if you investigate the Simply Ageless line from Covergirl, you'll see that most of the products within that range start at about the $15 price point and go up from there. And they also have a lot of like they have a small range of skincare as well that's a little bit on the pricier side of things for a drugstore. So that's really not outside the realm of possibility with Covergirl within this range for stuff to be more expensive. Now, the normal Covergirl products that aren't in this range tend to be a bit more affordable, but the Simply Ageless stuff is infused with quite a bit of skincare and a little bit more refined ingredients. It's not like a lot of the skin tints out there and the serum products that have, oh, it's got a little bit of hyaluronic acid in it. It might have some of this or that. And it's pretty low on the ingredient deck. The skincare in a lot of this stuff is pretty high up on the ingredient deck. There's like a decent amount of it to where it would actually probably be effective if you use these products every single day. You would potentially see some benefit from them. So I kind of appreciate that, and I appreciate the creativity and the new technologies that they are creating with the Simply Ageless line. Like, they are very unique products. If they're maybe the most cosmetically pretty, that's a little up in the air still. Looking at you, 3-in-1 foundation. This one's a little weird. I do have full review wear test of it and how I found a way to make it work. But today we're talking about the Essence one, and this one has also been spoke about being a dupe for the Chanel skin tint. I can't remember what the Chanel one's called. I'll put the claims of the Chanel one on the screen compared to the Covergirl, because I honestly think the Covergirl one, if I'm remembering correctly, I think the Covergirl one has more skincare benefits and better ingredients than the Chanel one that retails for around $70. Don't quote me on that. I'll put it on the screen and we'll see for sure. But I feel like that was the case. Anyway, this is a skincare makeup hybrid. It's formulated with something called tranexamic. I can't pronounce this word. I've never seen it before. I'll put it on the screen. I'm going to have all the ingredients and claims and all that on the screen. This is a potent tone improving essence that fades the appearance of dark spots. Also has 0.5% bakuchiol acid, which is a plant-based retinol alternative that is good for sensitive skin. And I think that is a wonderful ingredient to have in here because you don't have to worry about any reactions to it being a retinol if you are sensitive to retinols. And also, if you're using retinol currently, you can add bakuchiol to your routine and it not cause additional irritation or anything. It'll just kind of, honestly, from my research that I've done into bakuchiol and retinol, they tend to work very well together and kind of enhance one another. So I think that's an awesome ingredient to have in here. I use a lot of skincare that is retinol and bakuchiol infused together, and I think it's some of the best anti-aging skincare on the market when it's paired up that way. For people who are more sensitive to retinols and, you know, you maybe get dryness and what have you, might be a little more, you know, just sensitive, you don't have to worry about that with bakuchiol because it is a very gentle yet effective product. And it is plant-based. Okay, so this is a clean and vegan formula. 98% natural origin. So this has pigment capsules within that blend easily to distribute a sheer amount of coverage that leave a radiant finish and what it claims to be kind of a filtered your skin but better effect. Lightweight texture. Oh my goodness, does it have a lightweight texture? Unbelievably lightweight. Like, have you ever used a hyaluronic acid serum and you know how those feel? Like they feel like water? That's how this feels. It feels like water. It is kind of wild. It's made with 71% water, so that might explain that. And it provides an instant burst of moisture on the skin that hydrates up to 24 hours. It gives a skin-like finish, plumps the complexion, and gives a more refined, youthful appearance. Okay. It says it is good for all skin types. Now, I will say that I think dry skin would absolutely love this because it is very hydrating. If you're a little bit more like me, I am on the combo leaning towards the oily side of things. Like, I'm not like excessively oily, but I do get a little oily during the day. I'm very much kind of combo normal skin type, but I'm on the more oily end of things. And I guess have mature skin. I'm 37. Yeah, I found, to me personally, that the wear time on this isn't like the most 100% gonna look amazing 8 hours in. I will say that, but the wear time is okay. It's fine for just day-to-day running errands type of thing. This isn't gonna be the foundation I go to for all day glam perfected skin look. This is a very much an everyday, throw it on, not have to think about product that you can touch up throughout the day pretty easily, but it's definitely going to get a little oily or a little glowy on you throughout the day. And it will transfer a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. But if you're dry, this is going to be like one of those just heavenly products for you, I think. But even on my skin type that is, you know, combo, leaning a little bit oily, it wears decently enough. I can, you know, get through my day running errands and stuff. And usually by the evening, I'm looking a little worse for wear. The wear time is pretty comparable to the Simply Ageless and Olay. Like, they're not the most long-wearing products, but they're really pretty on the skin initially and for the majority of the day. So we're going to do a wear test with this today, and so I can show you how it withstands a full day. I have found if I set this really, really well with some powder, it definitely holds up a lot better and looks really good for much longer throughout the day, and it just has like have a nice dewy effect. But on days that I don't really set it and I just kind of throw it on just to run errands, I'm going to get some transfer and a little bit of breakdown throughout the day. But it's not a deal breaker to me. Like, it kind of wears away a little bit gracefully. It doesn't look obvious and, oh my god, that's terrible looking. So anyway, let's put some on. I'm going to actually do half my face with a sponge just to see what it does, because I haven't done that yet. I've just used a brush with this one, and I feel like a brush is honestly the best method for this one. Or your fingers. You could always use fingers. But I found kind of a dense foundation brush to be the best way to go. But I just want to see what it'll do with a damp sponge. Just out of curiosity. I have a feeling it's just going to soak it all up and not really do what I want it to do. So let's go ahead. I'm going to pump some out and let me show you the cool formulation here. If you can see in there, the little capsules that are suspended within a serum. And they burst as you blend it with the brush or your fingers or whatever, and gives a surprising level of coverage. I was expecting 0 coverage from this, honestly. I was expecting it to do next to nothing. Now, it actually does a pretty decent amount and gives a really nice level of coverage. Very surprising. So you just pump it out. It's an airless pump. And here's what it looks like. It's very, thin, watery, runny. And then you can just give it a little blend here, and it just starts to burst the capsules up, and the coverage starts to come through, and you can just work it into the skin very easily, and it starts to look really, really nice. It looks weird on the hand because it's not fully blended, but as you work with it, it blends really quickly and easily. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the brush on this side because that is my preferred method. And when you take the brush, it really breaks them up and gets them going. And we'll just buff it on. I found this is such a fast product to apply. Like, it goes on very evenly with a brush, and there's virtually nothing you have to sit there and think about when you're applying it. Like, you just pop it on, and it's just easy. A very easy product to work with, and gives really pretty coverage. Now, I'm not wearing any primer today or anything like that. I just have my normal skincare on, which actually is the only thing I have for skincare on today is the Clarins Hydra Essential face cream, because it's a really just nice general moisturizer. It is a little humid today, so I didn't want to go too overboard with moisture. I'm feeling a little oily today. But yeah, look at that nice coverage level. It evens everything out, takes down the redness. I can still see my freckles through. It looks like my skin, but just a little better. And it's kind of perfect as far as that goes. I love the way it looks right here. I think this is just beautiful. Just perfect everyday skin. A little bit goes a long way too. And you can shear this out or build it a little bit to get some good coverage. I usually use about 1 pump. 1.5 pumps for my whole face. And I have the shade Light Pale. I did go up a shade in this one than what I would normally pick because they looked like they were ran kind of light. And I figured if it is sheer coverage, I can get away with it being a little bit deeper on me than I can with it being a little bit too light, because sometimes that just doesn't look the best. But it actually turns out to be a perfect shade match for me and look pretty seamless with my neck area. But we're going to give this a good test today. I am going to the gym later. It's arm day, upper body day. So we'll get a little test as far as that goes. And I'm going to be just doing mostly computer work for the rest of the day. And stuff around the house. It is quite warm today and humid, as it always is here in Louisiana. Live in a pretty humid climate. But here's what it looks like with the brush. 1 layer. It doesn't emphasize any texture so far. I think it looks really, really pretty on the skin. Make sure it's blended in. I got like a little speck there. I don't find it to emphasize texture or anything like that. Kind of just sits nicely on the smile lines. Doesn't seem to settle too bad or anything like that. Okay, so here's without and with. Like, doesn't that just look nice for day to day right there? Like, that's just perfect. To me, just the most even, natural looking skin tint. Now I'm going to try it with the sponge on the other side. This is going to be a pure experiment. I just want to see what it'll do. Don't have high hopes. So I'm just going to dip a Real Techniques sponge in. And, oh, wait a minute. Is this working? What? I mean, shearing it out a little more, and I think it's going to soak up all the good serum, but it's not working. Huh. I did not anticipate that. Well, Looky there. What do you know? Yeah, it's just a little bit more sheer application, but not bad. I would still say go with the brush because this is gonna still soak up some of that good skincare in here, I feel like. I mean, if you're paying the $21 for that bakuchiol, girl, give me all the bakuchiol. But hey, not bad. Not bad. It actually looks really pretty. So if you're more of a sponge girly, you can totally get away with just a sponge. And especially if you like a little bit more of a sheer coverage. You will get a little bit more coverage with a brush. If you can, I don't know if you can really tell a difference. But I can tell a little bit of a difference where it's just a little bit less coverage on that side, but not by much. Not by much at all. Wow, that is impressive. And unexpected. I did not see that coming. But yeah, I think this sits really nicely on my nose, which sometimes can be the troublemaker. Like, I feel like some foundations sink into my pores on my nose and it just looks not great. I haven't noticed that with this one. And this has also played pretty well with any skincare I've paired it with. SPFs, primers. It's done really well with my liquid poreless putty primer. It's done really nicely with that. And gotten a little bit more longevity out of it. Just gonna build a little coverage on my nose. And with a finger, it kind of just buffs in pretty easily. So you can do that. But that looks so nice on my nose. Yeah. And it's not emphasizing any wrinkles or anything like that. Like, it looks how it should look, or how I want a foundation to look. Okay, here's with a sponge, I feel like it pulls coverage back up. So there's that. I'm going to stick with the brush. Sometimes I find that with certain foundations and a sponge, the sponge just pulls it back off the face and lifts coverage. So I'm just going to even things out a little bit. I'm not going to use a whole lot more, just a tiny, tiny bit, just to make sure everything is same coverage level throughout the face. But yeah, super glowy. If you like glow, this is the foundation for you too. Dry skin is gonna just drink this up, I think, also because of that watery texture and the instant hydration it gives. It really and truly is very hydrating. And even, I said, on my oily skin, I still appreciate it because I do get surface dryness. And two concealers that I found play really well with this is the NYX Bear With Me and the Age Rewind from Maybelline. They both played really well with this foundation. The Kosas concealer plays really well with it. I don't anticipate too many concealers not playing well unless it's like a super duper matte one. That one might not want to blend as nicely and just be too much with it, but something a little bit lighter and just more sheer. There is a concealer in this range that I intend on picking up and trying out. So I'm going to take just a little bit of the Bear With Me, just a little pump of this, just to even out my under eyes and eye area around here, brighten things up. This has kind of been one of my favorite concealer combos lately, is both of these together. They play really well together. Anyway, I'm just going to put a little bit of this around the eye area, just to brighten those under eyes and lids, because I do have a lot of pigmentation in this on my eyelids themselves. And right out here. And I'm just going to feather it down. You can use a concealer just to build wherever you might want a little more coverage as well. Which I usually put a little bit on my nose. My nose just gets red throughout the day and itchy. Especially, it's spring right now. So it's a little allergy prone. And just pat that in. And I'll take my foundation brush just to make sure it's all merging into the skin nicely. And we'll just use the NYX today for concealer. I won't overcomplicate the complexion. Keep it easy and breezy. Easy breezy Covergirl, isn't that the thing? Just for the sake of the type of product this is. This isn't to me a full glam, all the coverage in the world type of product. This is a easy makeup product. Okay, and then I'm going to set down my under eyes with a bit of the Halo Glow setting powder. This is a glowy powder. but I'm just using it on the under eye. I just use a little brush for that today. Another trick, if you did want more coverage with this, would be to use like a powder foundation over top just to set. That would give you a little more coverage. I also see this playing really well for mature skin though, just because of the formulation of it. I feel like it's just gonna sit really well over any texture and not cling to anything, especially if you have dry patches. And on the day-to-day, like when I'm doing a little bit more of a casual makeup look, I prefer a little more glow to the skin, a little bit more of a radiant appearance and not so super matte. I like a creamy, leaning, glowy look. And this suits that really well. For the rest of the face, I'm going to use some Kosas Cloud Set. And I'm going to set it down kind of an average amount. Nothing crazy, but just enough to where it's not tacky feeling on the skin. I'm somebody that powder has to happen. Like I have to set my skin or else it does get pretty juicy. Oh, and the Simply Ageless powder also is a really nice option from Covergirl. I need to re-up on that one. I haven't had that one in quite a few years and I remember enjoying it. I'm just going to throw on a quick little face and I'm just going to leave it in. We'll breeze through that, but this is what we look like after a bit of powder and concealer. Or a bit of concealer and powder, rather. Glowy, but not super glowy because we toned it down with the powder. It will get glowier throughout the day and you may be inclined to touch up. But I think it looks pretty dang nice. Pretty nice. It definitely has a very soft look and it plumps out fine lines and makes the skin look very smooth. I'm just going to run through the rest of the face, nothing too special, just going to be a soft day look just to kind of look a little more put together because I don't like just foundation and nothing else. I can't go through the day like that. So I'm going to dip into just a couple of products sitting here in front of me and we'll speed through and I'll show them to you as I go. We're going to use Hyper Natural mostly. Okay, and here's the face all done. Very simple, everyday look. Filled in my freckles, no highlighter today. So I feel like we're like kind of glowy enough and it looks really good. I'll show you what it looks like in natural daylight also. But yeah, I think we look really nice, natural, ready to go. This is just good running errands makeup. And yeah, most of the day is gonna be a computer day. And then this evening we will be lifting. So yeah, we'll see how it holds up after the gym. Hopefully well. I've had some foundations that look amazing after like a leg day. Namely the Makeup Revolution Skin Silk. This one, great longevity. Now this one I know doesn't have the best super duper longevity, but we'll see. We'll see what it looks like and give it a good little test. So it's currently 11:30 in the morning right now. Got a little bit of a late start, so I'm gonna try to keep it on until about 9-10 o'clock tonight and we'll see how it looks. But yeah, so far so good and I'm quite happy with it. So yeah, I'll see you guys in a little while for some natural sunlight check-in and throughout the day. Here's a look in natural daylight. It's a little overcast today, but here's what we're looking like. I say it looks pretty good, but then again, I don't have the best vision, so maybe you let me know. Because, oh, your girl apparently got bad vision. So, anyway, this is what we're looking like, though, in natural daylight. So, I'll see you guys for a pre-gym check-in and then later on this evening. Okay, pre-gym check-in. We're a little dewy, but I don't think it's too bad. I got pumpkin hair stuck to my face because I've been cuddling my puppy all day. But I think we look pretty good. Pretty average. See, it is 5 o'clock. Oh, it's almost 6. So, we've had this on since 11:30. Pretty good. I mean, admittedly, I've just been at the computer working all day, but not bad. Not bad. I'll see what we look like after the gym. Alright, we're home post gym. My hair. I kept smacking my butt on everything, like on the bench press against the bar, hitting it when I was doing overhead tricep. Yeah. Anyway, we're not looking too. Oh, well, just kidding. I think I was scratching though, so it looks like I had glasses on. I did not. Okay, around the nose doesn't look great, like right in here. Definitely some breakdown around the nose area. But aside from this region, which I've probably been touching, I'm definitely getting like transfer, like kind of transfers off. But I mean, oh, I know this. That's pumpkin. That's pumpkin cuddles. It's not the worst, but I don't think this foundation is marketed for longevity. I think it is a nice product for running errands, the day-to-day life, but not for like the full glam, full beat kind of thing. And not for the days where you're wanting your makeup to look flawless at like 10 p.m., you know? But it's a good, just kind of go-to daily, quick skin tint type of product. So, aside from the breaking up around the nose, I don't think it looks too bad. And I'm not mad at it. Look, little pumpkin hairs everywhere. Oh, I smacked my face into the bed. I did do that. That's what that is. I rubbed against, because I was reaching across. Anyway, my face touched the bed. Because the other side I don't think looks like that. I don't know. I always get a little cakey right here. I don't know what that's about. Always. But anyway, I don't think the rest of the face looks too terribly bad though. I think it looks pretty good. So I'm going to give this foundation a seal of approval. I think it's a good just go-to daily, throw it on, run out the door foundation. Not going to be the go-to for the glam days foundation, but it's a good just everyday one. You know, when you just don't need everything to be all fussy. It's a low maintenance foundation, if that makes sense. It's just a skin tint. And I like the additional skincare within it and the bakuchiol. I think that's really cool. I think it's a really unique formula. Surprising amount of coverage. And you know, if I probably put some more powder and like a setting spray, a primer with it, I think I could get more longevity out of it, because I've had days where it's done a little better when I have done like primer and other stuff just playing around. But not bad. I like it. Definitely think it's a good one. And if it seems like something that would suit your lifestyle and you would enjoy, I don't think you'd be disappointed in it, especially if you were on the drier skin type side. You would like it. Now, admittedly, I got pretty sweaty at the gym. I definitely broke a sweat. I was lifting, I did bench press, overhead shoulder press, lat pulls, rows, tricep extensions, and coming back after a little bit of a deload. It was and it's hot today. It is hot. And I apparently can no longer park in the driveway anymore, so I have to trek it to my house. And then we had to park a long way from the gym also, because it's evening and there's class and it's busy. Anyway, I've been out in the heat a little bit too. So, you know, I said I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. Just don't go in expecting like crazy longevity from it. So yeah, I think that's going to conclude today's wear test and review of the Covergirl Skin Perfector Essence. I think it definitely perfects the skin. It looks good. And hey, if you're over there, you can't tell how bad it looks unless you're like right here, okay? So, oh, by the way, it's 7 p.m. So, we've had this on since 11:30.